Hey guys, we are back with the Third Bro podcast. I know we took a little bit of a respite, but we are back and ready to make lots of podcasts for your listening and watching enjoyment on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast. In this episode, we introduce you to Ray Staley. He is the newest member of the Three Bros Running Company. We get into why we hired him and his thoughts about working with us. We also get into some things that we did in the meantime when you guys didn't hear our podcast, but we will get into all of that in the next few moments. Enjoy. All right, guys, so we are back here for the Third Bro podcast, and we have Ray. We announced him the other day. Pretty happy that we got Ray, and we're going to talk about all the things Three Bros today. We announced a lot of things earlier this year with our first podcast, and we want to talk about everything. Like, we announced 4 races, we announced a lot of other things, but we'll talk about all that in this podcast. Of course, we have Willie here, we also have Ray, and you have myself, Jeremy, to talk on this podcast. So, what's been going on, Willie?
Yeah, first of all, I want to welcome Ray to the team. He's been a big time follower of our organization for a while, and when he approached us, it was a great thing to kind of talk to him and see what kind of views he has for our company and how he can help us move forward. So happy to have him here with us.
I'm excited to be here. Excited for the opportunity.
Yeah. So I think what we're first going to kind of talk about is things that have been currently kind of going on, and one of the things that we've been kind of talking about, we were a little ahead of ourselves by mentioning we had 4 races in our schedule. We did have a city that it looked like everything was good to work with us, but then things kind of didn't really kind of go as planned, and that's expected. Sometimes we had to show cities the value of our company, and so now we're kind of settling things down, and we do have 1 race still, but we have multiple cities that we're going to be working.
Yeah, we had big expectations for our company at the beginning, and of course that's what we should do. We have high expectations, and we went out big. At the beginning of the year, we said 4 races, and it didn't happen. We still are going to have for sure the big pumpkin run, so make sure to look out for that when we have race day. Sign up for that, or not race registration when that opens up, but. We have other races in the books, and we have an exciting opportunity that we can't talk about right now, but that's another big thing that's coming to our company that
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's a big thing.
Stay tuned. We just told Ray about it today, and we'll talk. Well, hopefully we'll announce that in the coming months, years. So it's one thing that our company is on the up, right?
Let's just kind of say this is a big opportunity for us, and I'm excited about this, and especially it's good because I don't want to talk too much details, but very excited about this opportunity. But we do have other cities that we're working with. We have a city that has been, they've been awesome to talk to and work with, and I don't want to say the city's names to jinx us like last time. But we are rushing to have a race coming up pretty soon, right?
We also talked about a possible bear run, a 1 mile bear run. What do you think about a 1 mile bear run?
I think it seems like a really fun event and a great opportunity to explore the city that we have it in.
You don't drink beer, so maybe for people who don't drink beer, we can have a milk one. You drink milk? Right?
Milk.
I don't know if I want to see people with milk.
With milk?
Maybe we'll drink a soda.
I'll chug a root beer.
I think the hard part. Yeah, I think the hard part about a beer run is the bubbles, because the bubbles make it difficult to actually drink so much. So we don't know the details or even the laws on how to actually throw a beer run. But hopefully that comes to fruition too in the future.
I do like the concept of having a 1 miler. It's a different kind of race. I don't think there's anything out here that has a 1 miler. So to have that kind of race here, and the way we are going to have some kind of our creative kick with it, I think it's going to be the kind of cool thing.
Have you ever tested your 1 mile?
Yesterday I retested the 1 mile. 15:10.
15:10. See, so Ray's been doing his mile. Well, how about you, Willie? Have you ever done a 1 mile?
I don't think I have done a 1 mile. That's why I like long distance races, because you don't go for speed, you just go for distance. So the thing with a 1 mile, you have to be uncomfortable, right? It's not, hey, you're never going to be at like a comfortable zone. It's all out. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just tested my mile time last week. I got a 8:42, I think. So it was tough. I used to be a lot faster than that. So I think a 1 mile time trial actually tells you what your fitness level is. So you know how to get better, right?
Right.
I'll see. I don't know, but we have some other races that we just want to like develop them. We have like all the ideas. We just need a city to want to work with us.
Yeah, that's one of the big challenges of starting up a new race is having cities and businesses want to work with you, because in Orange we have the Big Pumpkin Run and we've proven ourselves to them, so they know what we can do. So if we want to go back to Orange, they'll welcome us with open arms, as opposed to a new city where they don't know who we are. We could show them our like Willie does a great job of putting out and making what do you call them?
So I do a lot of like pitch presentations. So to any city that we do talk to, it's just like a way to kind of understand about our company, what we can do, and the value we offer to them. And I always like change it up dependent on the city we visit or and the person I talk to. I think that's important. So like those are kind of like the race updates. We will announce like a race as soon as possible. And I know you guys want to sign up, but once we get it, we're gonna do it right. You know us. We want to do everything as professional as possible. So let's kind of talk about like we were at the Running USA conference for Denver. We were selected as the scholarship recipients. So they flew us out. They got us a hotel, and we got entry into like this conference, which is amazing to meet like so many race directors. What was your kind of thoughts of being there?
I thought it was cool that we were with a bunch of great other scholarship recipients. They had Martinez, we had
Vanessa, Jackie,
and
Jake.
Jake was there. All great people. The one thing I did notice is that there wasn't enough race directors. Like, this is a race directors conference, and they pretty much invited us and then influencers, which we ourselves want to be influencers in the running space, but there's only race directors, and they picked two for those slots, and it was just happened to me, Willie and I, and there's not that much diversity in the race directors, right now. So I thought that was interesting, right?
Yeah, it was actually cool to like kind of talk to all of these other race directors. Everyone seemed to be already kind of large scale. So when I mean large scale, they're at least having like 1,000 a minimum. It seems like for these races, 1,000, that's a minimum. And like we're talking to people from like Chicago Marathon, New York City Marathon, Boston Marathon, Rock and Roll Marathon, and those are in the maybe 50,000s, much more than that. So to be a part of that and getting kind of their knowledge is a pretty great experience.
Yeah, it was interesting to see us from little town Beaumont, and then a lot of the big time races, and we were introduced to a lot of people and made great connections. You actually talked to the race director of the Rock and Roll Series, right?
Yeah, I talked to the race director of the Rock and Roll Series, and he was a wealth of knowledge. Like, our concept is we want to bring big city races to small cities across Texas, and his concept was he wants to bring that same kind of big city races to like second tier cities. So instead of like focusing on Los Angeles, he would do San Diego, and he came at it with like a business mindset. And I think even it seems like, hey, it's a fun kind of event, being an RD race director. For a race to keep happening year after year, it has to be profitable. So everything has to be run like a business, and I appreciate being able to talk to Tracy and kind of get his input on things. And now I have him on, like, I could call him anytime, and he could give me any kind of input I have during like races to make things profitable. And that's what we want to do, make Three Bros Running Company not only a place for people to have fun races, but for us, for it to be a profitable race that we can keep doing this year after year.
And another cool thing is that we met the race directors, and as race directors ourselves, whenever you meet another race directors, you know how hard it is to put in a race. We usually offer other race directors, like, you come to our race it's a comped race. So a lot of those big city races were saying, just come over to our race, we'll let you in, right? I thought that was cool. We could run any race out there, really, if they
We
let
don't
us.
say that. Maybe. Yeah, some of them will. Yeah. It'll be nice. Like, having that thing. And now, like, I'm excited with Ray to be here and kind of experience like the things that we go. Things are always fast paced. Once the race starts getting, we have a race, you're gonna see how fast paced things kind of go, man. We're like every day kind of thing, talking about things. So, what are things that you are excited about, like learning as as an RD?
I'm excited to be learning about what actually happens behind the scenes. The process of between calling the cities and police departments and stuff to how to do the marketing, and basically I'm ready to jump right in with on everything.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad, and I think that's one thing I did love about Running USA. But I wish they did incorporate things for like smaller running events, like because you want this industry to grow. The only way it could grow is like you have people like us, not necessarily people of color, but just people who have like smaller races that are interested in this industry and
growing them.
And want growing, they're helping growing the race or helping find ways to help keep them like profitable.
Yeah, like I told a lot of people there, I was like, it's great that there's these big time races to learn from, but it's hard for us as small race directors to like see that, because they're talking about working with big companies like Tiffany's or even bigger brands, Nike and all that, when we're talking about local business, which I think actually in the future we should actually look to those bigger brands ourselves to incorporate them into our race as sponsors.
Yeah.
Not just think locally.
Yeah.
Think globally, worldly.
Yeah. So let's kind of like I like this kind of idea because like we always think. And this is a thing like a lot of people don't really see, like they assume you have to have like a certain amount of following, but I feel big brands, they will help like maybe smaller influencers, like we're all kind of like influencers, but smaller companies, just to kind of get the name out. So that's a good idea to kind of go after some like bigger brands and say, hey, if they're interested in like sponsoring a race. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? Let's kind of get into like what we'll get into like Ray now. Let's go into like what you said, because like we do want you to like kind of stay with the business possibly. But
people have been talking. They've been asking me, "Hey, I heard like I went to the running group yesterday. They're like, oh, I heard you hired Ray on Three Bros. So, what are your what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for the Three Bros Running Company, Ray?
I can bring my experience as a push run racer from the runner side of the spectrum. Bring my connections along with my ability to reach out to cities and promote the Three Bros Running Company.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need. I remember when Ray, he's been kind of like messaging us for a while, saying he wants to work with us, and I was like telling him, I think I was like telling you for a little bit, like we're very lean. It's just me and Jeremy. It's hard when you have like a new company. We do want to have like new potential hires, but it's very hard since we're very lean. But like Ray was very adamant. He keeps saying like I want to like talk to you about things, and he even kind of talked to me about like this idea for a race. And I was like, let's set up a meeting. And when we set up that meeting, he had everything laid out. He did very meticulous presentation, had numbers, had like the concept, everything well designed. And I was like, this guy is like he's passionate about this, and I need someone who has that kind of passion if he wants to work with us. And I wanted him to just be a part of this experience and see if this is something he's interested in. So right now he's our strategic assistant, but in the future that could kind of change to see how he fits in the company.
Yeah, and Ray's been doing great. Like Willie said, everything that we've asked of him so far, he's gone above and beyond, and he's also very early. Willie and I are notorious for being a little bit late, but Ray will be there 25 to 30 minutes before any meeting we set out. So it makes us be more on time.
Yeah.
We don't want Ray to wait for our butts every time we try to meet him somewhere.
Yeah. He's very professional. We are professional, but sometimes we do kind of like need to like work on the time. But like we had like the photo shoot, because like we want to. I not only want to like have him work for us, but I want to help him like develop himself too. Like so, anything we can kind of teach him, I will teach him. Any kind of skills I know, Jeremy will teach him
Even
any kind
in
of skills.
social media, like right now, Ray's a little bit nervous on camera, but that's cool. Like whenever Willie first started, you should see Willie. He was super nervous on camera. Like I had to edit his stuff, and I had to edit a lot. Now Willie's like a pro, and Ray's gonna be that too. Like especially with our company, we're so focused on social media and being a presence out there, and having a voice on audio. What do you think about all that? Like, are you ready to take on that responsibility of being a face on camera?
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Ray's ready for it, and that's what we do. We try to do a lot of social media. I know we didn't do a lot at the beginning of the year now, but now that the company's going full force and trying to get more races to this area, we're going to be more socially out there. So you're going to see a lot of stuff from us. I think Willie's working on a video too.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, I'm working on this video, and it's an interesting format because I've never done this kind of format before, but it's going away. I guess I can kind of talk about it now. It's about like race cheating, and I finished everything, and then what had happening was like the audio was like muffled, and I was like, can I use that audio? And I was like, no, so I had to redo like a couple more sections, but it should be out hopefully this week. This week, I'm excited. It's about race cheating, and I think that's a thing that a lot of people know about, but I'm going to go through all the different ways people could cheat.
Yeah, it was a big thing. I think in our first podcast, we talked about Matt Choi and how he got someone else's bib and he ran with his bib, which is a form of race cheating, and Willie's going to talk about that. So I was like, let's have a whole episode of that on our YouTube channel. So Willie's making that, editing. He's doing everything from shooting it to editing. So he hasn't done that.
I have not done that. And I'm using like a fancy camera we got, so it's going to be interesting. What do you think about people who cheat at races? Why do you think they do it? Let's say, this is the kind of question I ask myself. Why would people cheat at like a marathon? What's the motivation?
To get a better time than what they've actually put in the effort for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could definitely be a mule, like a Boston Marathon, to get to a race like that, because you need race times. And people were kind of almost saying, it's not that bad, but imagine if somebody did that for the Boston Marathon. If somebody took someone else's bib and raced that race at the Boston Marathon. I think a lot more people have more issues with that. So why wouldn't you have an issue with somebody doing that at a lesser race, like at Houston Marathon? Yeah. Like it's the same thing. It shouldn't be done. And as race directors ourselves, it's hard to condone it.
Yeah. And I like what Ray said, because I think a lot of people don't put in the training. But they want to have like a good time because like they don't want people to think that they're slow. I don't have any issue with any kind of time. I think if you ran the distance, regardless of what you at, you should be proud of that. But some people they want to have like that fast time so they can like have other people celebrate it. And I think that's another reason people cheat, or maybe they didn't train enough, like you said, and they want to figure a way to do the marathon without doing the actual marathon, like Jeremy said, with there's something called like a bib mule, they could give someone else's bib or something like that. But I'll go into all those details and more on my video when I release it, if it ever happens.
Let's talk more about Ray, because we're introducing Ray today. And what's your running experience? How did you get into running?
I got into running as a way of feeling closer to my late mom's memory. But today I've done two marathons, 2 half marathons, and I believe 3 or 4 10Ks and a handful of 5Ks. And I'm always looking for the next race.
Yeah, the one thing I told Ray, I was like, Ray, if you on with us, because Ray's one of our biggest supporters from the beginning. I think you might have been one of the first people to sign up for a Three Bros race, right?
Yeah, I think Shannon's run. You were the first one.
You were the first one, whoever signed up. And even then, he was asking to work for us, even before we started. So I told Ray, if you are going to work with us, then you can't run any of our races. So.
You can still have the medal for the races that we do.
Look at the medal. Look at the shirt.
No, I didn't put in the work to run it. So
there you go. That's the racist mentality.
Racist mentality. Yeah. But we're gonna. You notice like when we do have we do the races. I don't know if you pay attention. Like the RDs have like a special color shirt. It'll be a different shirt color than the actual race color shirt.
Yeah, Shannon's run. Our shirts were black for RDs. And then for the pumpkin run, it was like, what was it?
Like some kind of like scarlet red or something like that.
Reddish color.
Reddish color, dark red color. But that's the things that we look forward to, especially when we do our first race. And but like, what was like? Because I think this is a thing, and especially for maybe people who are not really experienced with runners, like they ask me like, what's the motivation for people to run, and or maybe what's the motivation for people to do like actual race? Like, what was like your motivation to do like a race?
It was more for the challenge of, especially for the first marathon that I signed up for. It was for the challenge of actually putting in the work to complete the race. I'd always heard about the marathon. Never thought I would gonna be capable of doing it. I didn't think I could commit myself to that much running or be that fast. But here I am.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's you don't realize like the small percentage of people who have actually completed a marathon. It's very small. It's not like a big number. So I have major props to anyone do it, and I think it's life changing when you do like a race like that.
And one of your goals is what's your goal for a marathon now? You've done marathons, but
I've done two in the push rim chair. I'm currently training for for a marathon in November. It'll be my third one overall, but my first one actually on foot. Training going really well for that, and in January I'll be doing my my third one back in the chair.
okay. So you're gonna try to do your one on foot this year?
This year.
This year for what race?
Salinas or Salinas?
Yeah, Salina. It's
Salinas.
Salinas. It's a weird name.
Yeah.
We went over there to Salinas, Canis. We said Salinas, and we got corrected real quick. That's Salina.
The Salinas Crossroad Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I told Ray before, I said, if you when you do that, I want to be there to record it because that's a great story. I love a good running story, and if you when you get it, I'll be there to tell that story. It'll be on the Three Bros Running channel for sure.
Yeah.
To see one of the Three Bros. And speaking of Three Bros, one of the most common questions we get as Three Bros when we meet people is like, "Where's the third bro? Where's the third bro?" Right? So now that we have three people again, we can say that Ray's one of our third bros.
Yeah.
Anybody's a third bro.
Anybody's third bro. Right now we have like
now when we represent Three Bros Running Company, we actually do have three people to fill that, because usually it's just like, where's the third bro? Where's the third bro?
Yeah. So now
So
we
very
have
common question.
Yeah, we have a third bro. So excited to have Ray with us, and excited at the future prospects with the company.
So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this podcast, this Third Bro podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And make sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everything. We're all on there, Three Bros. You'll see us, and hopefully we'll have more episodes coming soon. Remember, we are the Three Bros Running Company, bringing big city racing to cities all across Texas. See you guys in the next one. Peace. If you guys enjoyed the Third Bro podcast today, make sure to leave us a comment and also give us a rating on whatever podcast platform you're on.